East Coast GRC and Fengshan SMC. My fellow Singaporeans, good evening. Please allow me to speak briefly in Malay and Chinese first before I speak in English. Can? Boleh? Salam sejahtera. Di pilihan raya ini, kami dari Parti Pekerja meminta sokongan yang kuat daripada semua penduduk GRC East Coast dan semua orang Singapura yang boleh mengundi Parti Pekerja. Kerana apa? Kerana jika Parti Pekerja bukan kuat, pemerintah mungkin tak mau mengaku kesilapannya dan tak mau membetulkan kesilapannya. Pemerintah mahu anda percaya yang mereka tak pernah melakukan apa-apa kesilapan. Tetapi kami tahu ada banyak masalah yang orang Singapura masih menghadapi. Kami harus memastikan yang pemerintah akan menyelesaikan masalah-masalah ini. Undilah Parti Pekerja untuk memperkasakan masa depan anda. Dacia晚上好，开给后谢国。我们工人党不会反对而反对，只想帮人民说些话。好让政府听得见，希望人民过得好。My fellow Singaporeans, friends, Singapore has come a long way. We are rightly proud of our progress. But should we let that pride turn us complacent? Friends, I head an international consultancy operating in 8 countries. When I go to other countries like Korea, Japan, the USA, and Hong Kong, for example, when I open their newspapers, when I watch their TV news, or when I listen to their parliamentary debates, I do not hear a never-ending barrage of statements about how superior they are to everyone else, about how things are so much better than everywhere else. But in Singapore, we hear this all the time. About 10 years ago, I saw a Korean TV documentary on Korea's tourism industry. The lead presenter said that we Koreans should be ashamed that Korea is not a great tourism nation and we should strive to become one. I remember feeling quite shocked. It is rare to hear such talk in Singapore these days about how we should be ashamed of a big national problem and how we must improve is rare. Has anyone in the People's Action Party ever said that we should be ashamed that so many elderly Singaporeans have to work in food courts or collect cardboard boxes and that we should solve this problem? No. They always congratulate themselves and say that we are the best in this and that we are the best in that. We hear statements like, for example, the CPF is a good system, but we are going to make it even better. Our education system is among the best in the world, but we are going to make it even better. Do you think that the PAP admits frankly when it makes a mistake? Friends, in what I call the lost decade before the 2011 general election, the population grew much faster than the infrastructure to support it. Many Singaporeans suffered. Our trains got overcrowded, our property prices skyrocketed, our hospitals became overcrowded, and we faced competition for jobs and school places. We all lived through this, friends. We all know the facts. Did the PAP admit these mistakes squarely? Did they explain in detail how such a massive failure of planning could happen? Did they explain why the ministry in charge of granting permits to foreigners did not plan with the ministries in charge of building infrastructure? Did the ministries talk to one another, or did they just butch up and do their own things? Friends, up to today they have not explained how exactly they will ensure that this never happens again to the country that we love. My friends, what did we Singaporeans get for this failure? We got one apology from the Prime Minister. One apology, and that apology came with a few days left to go in the 2011 general election campaign. Have you heard any apology since? Neither have I. The People's Action Party likes to gloss over uncomfortable truths. They use phrases like, "We were in a bad place in the property cycle. No one could have anticipated that the prices of the resale flats would skyrocket." Really? When you control the number of foreigners given work passes, when you own most of the land in the country, when most housing is public housing, when you know the rate of new household formation every year, is this the fault of the property cycle? Or is it a failure of government forward planning? Friends, recently the Minister of Manpower said that the foreign manpower policies adopted in the 2000s were right for that era, the previous decade. But the tightening of foreign inflow we are doing now is right for today. They do not think they made any mistakes in the past. Even when we have an MRT breakdown, I say when, not if, the government likes to say that the system is still one of the best in the world. They say in other cities like London there are more breakdowns. Why don't we compare ourselves to a country like Japan, where there are very few train breakdowns and the transport minister gets paid a fraction of what our minister gets paid? Honestly, my fellow Singaporeans, is this never-ending self-congratulation healthy for our country, the country that we love? No. Why does the PAP always want to talk about how great they are? Because we have had only one crushingly dominant party in government and in parliament for 50 years. I think, friends, that they feel a need to justify that dominance by saying that everything is perfect or close to perfect because we are in charge. So keep voting for us. My friends, this is going to breed complacency. Ultimately, it will lead to the decline of Singapore. I agree. A few days ago, I represented the Workers' Party in a TV debate. I started by thanking the PAP for its contributions to Singapore. Ms. Denise Phua of the PAP replied by thanking the Workers' Party for acknowledging the achievements of the PAP. Before coming here, I watched the PAP's opening and closing statements in that debate again. The two PAP representatives at that debate made hardly any mention of the role of others in the Singapore story, my friends, like civil society, businessmen, and the Singaporean people themselves. No, they kept talking about the PAP. They certainly did not give credit to any opposition party for playing any role whatsoever. Mr. Lawrence Wong said, and I quote, "We are proud of our track record." Twice. Friends, the PAP likes to accuse the Workers' Party of claiming credit. But honestly, my friends, they are number one. They are the Olympic gold medalists when it comes to claiming credit. They have claimed credit for everything that goes right in this country. When something goes wrong, it is airbrushed from history, or it is the fault of the world economy or some other anonymous force, or it's the fault of the Workers' Party. The PAP slogan is with you, for Singapore. But actually it's all about them, not you. In my first rally speech, I talked about their manifesto being backward looking. But it is not just a manifesto. The Prime Minister's National Day rally last week, the entire PAP campaign in this general election, friends, is all backward looking, designed to make you think that this election is about the past 50 years. But you are voting for the PAP leaders today, not the PAP leaders 50 years ago. What is the PAP's vision? What is the PAP's program for the next 5 years? They have outlined no specific program. They expect your blind faith. But the Workers' Party has a manifesto with a coherent vision and specific plans. You can disagree with our proposals. You can say it is boring. And say it is boring. But when you look at the Workers' Party manifesto, there is a vision and there are plans. What are their plans? This shows the danger of relying on one crushingly dominant party to steer this country. There is another model, my friends. There is another way. Balance instead of dominance. Passionate striving for improvement instead of complacency, admitting mistakes and preventing their recurrence instead of pretending that there were no mistakes, humility instead of arrogance. There is another way. Our way is not to depend only on a strong state dominated by an entrenched party. It is to rely on a strong civil society, a strong private sector, an active citizenry, and a strong, responsible opposition. Our way, my friends, is about all stakeholders in Singapore finding solutions together. Not just ramming policies down our throats through speed-reading bills in Parliament. We want to ensure free and fair debate about Singapore's problems and Singapore's solutions, not a debate where we only hear the good stuff. In our manifesto, we propose a public consultation select committee and standing select committees in Parliament to debate bills before they become law and to scrutinize each ministry's spending, policies and operations. We propose freeing up our newspaper and broadcasting industry to open, regulated competition. Is this what we want? And we call for an end. We call for an end to the requirement that internet news websites need to comply with cumbersome registration requirements. Is this what you want? Which vision is better, friends? Ours or the PAP's? Which vision will better secure your future and your children's future? My friends, when you walk to that polling booth on Friday, please think, do you want a culture of passionate striving in this country? Do you reject complacency? Then please support us to entrench a responsible opposition in Singapore politics.
Workers' Party, do you want more people to be able to join this rally tonight? Yeah! Okay, then I have to ask of you a favor. The people are coming in from this side and it's too crowded here. Can I have all of you who are at the back, please help